Officially. So welcome everyone to this work/play shop, which Donna and I have entitled How to Create Your Business from Love, Laughter, Play, and Magic. I think I had the order differently in the way that I wrote it originally.
It's
And
all it's all good.
it's all the good stuff, right? So the reason I titled it this way, and I thought actually it was funny as I was rereading what I wrote when I came up with the title, and I said creating it from love, laughter, magic, and play, not with. And I thought, isn't that interesting? Because what I really believe and what I've seen about business is that not only is it possible, but it's something that I see people doing all the time to create from love, from the magic that you are, from the play that you are being, not just with it. I see a lot of people talk about, or at least some people are talking about adding fun to your business or play to your business or ease to your business, like you do business with it. I'm like, no, do it from it. Let it move you. Let it become the thing that inspires your business and guides your actions inside of it. So that's a bit in a nutshell what that's about. So before we get into our adventures for the day, I really want to take a moment to introduce my friend Donna. Shall I tell them how you ended up here too? Because I think
Sure.
it's a really good story. So
Sure.
Donna is just an amazing, an all around amazing human, just one of those, right? One of the kinds of people that I want you to meet because she's full of love and laughter, magic and play. In fact, I pulled some of those words off of her website when I was thinking about the title because that was the energy I wanted to bring to you. It's an energy that I intend to bring anyway in my business, but in this particular presentation. So I met Donna a couple of years ago, I think, and just really enjoyed her energy. I think you'll understand why. I mean, just look at her background on her Zoom. Love, love, love. Okay. That. Like right there. Love and big smile. That's
I,
everything
I
you
have
need
to
to
say,
know.
so there's something I believe, like, if whatever we are, if you squeeze it, that's what comes out. I kind of feel like that's it. Like, just squeeze and that's sort of what comes out. Can't help it. Don't want to.
Exactly. So I had very positive impression of Donna when I first met her. And I was like, oh, what a cool person. And we happen to be in a course together right now called Creating the Impossible. And in it, we choose an impossible project to attempt to create. And Donna was talking about hers in this webinar I was listening to a recording. And she said that she was going to create 1,000 short little videos of pieces of art and share them. And I was like, I love that idea. I love that coming from Donna. And I heard her say, like, it has something to do with my business, but I don't really know what, or something like that. And I could just feel it. I could feel, I could feel the energy of creation through her that is so authentic that it can't help but attract, create, whatever it is that's happening in her life. And I was like, I want to know what's going on. So I reached out to Donna and I said, like, hey, what are you doing? And so we had a chat. And kind of spontaneously at the end, I knew I was going to do this presentation. I was like, do you want to come be a guest with me on this presentation? And so it kind of unfolded like that, because here's what I see that Donna does really well without trying, by the way. I think you can tell me if I'm wrong, Donna, but I don't really see you trying to do this, is just creating whatever the hell she wants in a way that feels really joyful. And her business is under, it's like an umbrella, but it has multiple avenues. I'll let you speak to that a little bit, Donna. And it's just about what you love and sharing what you love and being who you are. And it just radiates out from your business. And the fact that this was your project, this is the spirit. Like, you are a living example of the spirit with which you can create in your business this thing that sometimes we call marketing that isn't actually marketing at all because it has no tactical agenda to it. It's actually just you being you, creating and sharing, and you're doing it. And I don't know how much you see that, but to me, it's crystal clear. And I don't know what it evolves into, what it emerges as, but I can feel the aliveness of it. And that's what I wanted to bring as an example for people. So, with that said, Donna, I would love for you to, what would you can respond to that, of course, and tell us, what do you want people to know about you and what you're up to in the world?
Oh my gosh. So yeah, never up to just one thing, multiple things. That umbrella is like the when you said it, it's like like the Mary Poppins umbrella. And there's the bag and all of the stuff comes out of it. And I also, as you were speaking, the thing about marketing and my relationship experience with marketing is like in that way, that strategically whatever way, I feel allergic to it. Like I don't like it. And I have gone to a business and marketing school because I thought I should educate myself and know what I'm doing. And it made things more challenging in some ways because I was more living from the neck up, and I do much better staying centered in my heart. And I love to share. Um, and I have hired coaches to help me market. I have fired them because they wanted me to do it in a specific way that has to look like the formula, and I won't. Like, no, 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 not for me. So I I love a lot of different things, and to me they're all connected. And until I really started like just doing the things and honestly putting them out in the world and offering them, I kept compartmentalizing them, and I was having a challenging time when someone says, "What do you do?" Like anything called an elevator speech? No, don't have one. No, I don't know. I'm a human. I'm a soul with a body that likes to do some things. So the evolution is like where I am now. And when you said that, I don't know that I actually see it because I'm in it. But I was looking back, and what I'm aware of just looking back, because there's something in me that loves to create and loves to share and love to play. And since I was young, I've been doing a couple of things and just seeing where is the energy, where is that, what's following, and then creating something and then seeing how it goes, from artwork to all kinds of different things, never in a traditional sense. Um, to the degree that um, I was an artist, and I created art. I did art shows for a living. That was my business. And when I had a child, I was like, I'm not going to put my kid in a playpen in my booth. It doesn't feel like the way I want to raise my kid. So I just did a pivot, started creating something that someone else could sell. And then I met someone at a birthday party who was a professional clown. And I went, oh, I could design a t-shirt for her. Became friends. I'm like, can I do that? She's like, yeah. So I did a professional clown internship so that I could work in a way while my kids were little that allowed me to be a mom and have fun and do the things and stay relevant. And in their yoga teacher training. So I did like all these different things that to me kind of met, because the yoga supported a way of being, because clowning is a high energy thing. And so I had that persona and then this other one. And then as things evolved, my children are grown. As things evolved, I was like, oh, well, after clowning, what's the next art thing? What would that look like? So I keep playing and trying things and saying yes until like just rolling it out and sort of going along. And what seems to me is that if there's joy in it, in the creating, and this is where Stephanie was talking to the come from, if I'm coming from that place with whatever it is I'm creating, and then there's a response in the world, and then I can follow it. If it doesn't have the energy, then okay, well, maybe it's not quite that. And it's a lot of trying things. And the project of the 1,000 videos, yeah, that still overwhelms me. Like totally, the whole point of that program is that you have no chance of succeeding. I will not. And it has me creating some things, and from that, other things are getting sparked, and there's different things sort of going along. And I I think as people, like sharing is what we're here doing. If you have something and it's inside of you, it's a good feeling. Why wouldn't you share it? So it seems like, being in the game of life, or playing in this thing we're doing, we're business that we're sharing. And that I love. So when we talk to this, when Stephanie with the unmarketing, like that it's beautiful to me, and it feels real and true. And it also, I come more from a place of non-attachment to the outcome. If I have a lot of attachment about exactly what something has to look like or what I'm trying, I'm very imaginative. I can go way out into the future and miss the moment. And so I let things inform me a little bit more, right? If I try or offer a program, let's see how that goes. Or pivot. During the pandemic, I offered an online yoga church, like, because yoga shut down. What do you do? But I wanted to support people. How could you? And this is 3 years later, that's still going because some people still enjoy that. But it was more just like, oh, how can I serve? What can I do? I have this, and a connection to um, whatever I would call source or God or whatever, but like there's something that wants to create through me. How can I be in alignment with that and play with others on the planet? So that's kind of, my yeah. So the other thing I do in the world is I am a coach, and I also I work with the Akashic Records, which is a kind of a soul information. So I'm used as a channel, very sacred work. And then I create fun, happy, joyful products and do things that are totally just delightful and joyful. And I host retreats. So they all sort of kind of go together, but they're all their own little thing. And yeah. And being here, community, best thing ever. I think groups of people are the best. When we all come together, it's like all the magic we have gets mixed up in a bowl, and the magic expands, and there's just like more goodness. Well, that's my experience anyway. So as I'm looking at you, I'm having technical things today with the internet. So I'm on my phone, but I'm trying to like see your faces, and it's, yeah, just really nice to see you all, to be here.
Thank you, Donna. And
yeah.
So one of those things that has emerged, strangely enough, led you here, right? In this project that you're doing of these 1,000 videos. And now, strangely enough, maybe this does have to do with your business, because I'm now introducing you to a bunch of people in my community and promoting you just because I think it's cool what you're up to. And that comes from being you and me feeling that aliveness and being aligned in it in such a way that I was like, hey, Donna. And I didn't even know I was going to invite you to do this until it came out of my mouth. And this is possible. This is the magic that we are. This is what we're living in. And I'm not going to tell you that I feel that every single moment, but I feel it and see it so regularly now that I know I do not have to control what's happening in my business. I know that I do not ever have to push in a way that feels like I'm going to die if I don't do this. And I'm not going to have any money. I'm going to end up in a gutter or sleeping under a bridge.
Yeah.
There's another way to move through this. And not only is it easier, like it's actually joyful. And I just want you to get the sense of it a little bit more. And this is a journey that I take people on often. I think there was something, I want to point something else out about what you said, Donna, because what I hear in the evolution of your business is what I love to see. So a lot of times people are looking for a way to stand out and be different and unique in a sea of same. Like, how can I be different? And then they go to these marketing experts and they try to give them a quippy little tagline or a cool brand. And there's an easier way. And that's simply being you and allowing you to infuse everything that you do in your business. And I think Donna is a radiant example of that. And you look at her website, from the language to the colors to the unicorns to the photo that she gave me to you. I mean, like everything, right? Like it's just got Donna all over it. You can't get away from it. And either you
Right.
like that.
And if Donna's not your flavor, you will not going to be participating. And that's okay, right? Like there's that. Because as you're saying this, Stephanie, I'm aware just now that maybe it's been over the last couple of years, but I really tried to fit. I hired people to write copy for my website. I hired people all over the place because I'm much better live. I don't like to do words, like the type words. And I would go and it just kind of felt a little bit flat. And when I decided, no, I really want to bring myself to this, it's almost as though the universe brought me this lovely human that could look at me and go, oh, you need a few tweaks here, this. Okay, and now when there's something coming, she just like takes whatever it is, she does her brilliant thing. And it just sort of, and it's so me. I'm like, wow. But up until then, I wouldn't ever say, or I was not aware of trying to tone down or hide, but I felt like I was trying to fit into some kind of a particular business is one thing. And and what I was doing was not quite fitting in there. And then once I took that off, well, what happens if this is just what I'm going to do in the world? Let's see what happens. A whole bunch of doors opened. And it became less terrible, less painful, way more fun around business, because I saw that I was playing in a way that I didn't enjoy. It was like the dread of all the tasks or whatever, and I can do a lot of things. And then and now I don't know, yeah, something shifted, but it was more when I stopped trying to fit into what I made up in my mind it was supposed to look like, and started really enjoying people, because I do love people. So it was more like that, a conversation. I also became aware that I really love small groups. There's a depth to that is really fulfilling and beautiful. But in my mind, I thought if I was going to be successful in business, I had to have programs with lots of people. And when I took that off, then there's something else. There's a quality in something else, and it's in its own timing. Like it's also evolving and expanding. So it's like taking off some of the shoulds, I guess. Shoulding.
Yeah, I think we should all take off those shoulds. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, but before I do, I really want to make this about you and your individual journey. And for those of you who have showed up here live, you get to put in a little request. So I want to ask you, if you have access to the chat box, to just tell me if you could get one thing out of this time together that would be most impactful for you and your business. One thing that you'd like to ask for, what would it be? And just put that into the chat. And while you do that, I will tell you a little bit about my story, as I promised that I would. I realized quite recently that I have become the laziest marketer I have ever been. And this is a strange thing for me to find myself in this place, because I had a love affair with marketing when I first got into business, which was, oh, good Lord, about 20 years ago. I discovered a love of marketing because to me, it was just a way to communicate with people. And I've always loved communication and writing in particular. And so I began to study. I studied internet marketing in particular. I ended up really falling in love with content marketing, which is simply just creating content in a way that helps people to find you and want to do business with you, right? Email marketing also, because it was a way for me to write and connect with an audience. So you can see already that this was very connected to me and the things that I love and the things that I enjoyed. I tried a bunch of other things. I tried learning about SEO. I was an amateur SEO geek for a while. I did a class in Google advertising. I looked at affiliate marketing, and a lot of things I'm like, but I tried them and I loved learning about it. So I went from that world in a business. I was actually a wedding DJ for over 10 years, and realized at some point that I wanted to do work more with people, teaching, coaching something I didn't know. And I had this love for business that was greater than my love for entertainment of people. And so ended up switching into a career in what they call internet marketing, actually creating information products online. And I decided to do that for wedding professionals because I knew a little something about the wedding industry. And so I used that, everything that I'd learned, and I would turn around and teach to other people because it was super fun. So I was teaching marketing, I was teaching selling, and I was teaching business strategy, right? That's actually what I did. And I did this for, again, like almost close to 10 years, maybe 7 years or so. And I was following all the rules. And I used to take all the courses and learn how to do things, follow the steps. And I was creating a lot of pressure for myself that I didn't realize I was doing. I thought it was the nature of the job. I thought that came with business, and I was making things. Everything felt very hard. And I realized that I actually had a belief that it had to be hard to prove myself. And so, of course, I made things hard. And this was around the time that I started to see, business could be different, because it didn't always feel that way. It sometimes felt that way. And so it set me off on a journey, and I started working with my own coaches. For the first time, I worked with business coaches and started to get in touch with what I actually wanted to do instead of what I thought I was supposed to do because this course said that's the next step. And that's the practical thing to do. And I ended up getting into coaching and falling in love with a deeper transformational experience with people. And now I still work with entrepreneurs because I love business. And I'll tell you why I love business, because I see it as a vehicle for creation, a vehicle for creating what you'd love to see in the world, the change, the experience, the products, the services, the interactions with people. Business is a vehicle for that, just like your body might be and movement might be for other people, and health and nutrition might be for some people, and business is that for me. So I love that playground. And this didn't happen overnight that I became a lazy marketer, because for a long time I still hung on to like, okay, well, I'm going to do less of that pressure thing, but I still need to be doing it. Because if I, God forbid, I take my foot off the gas, nothing will happen. Everything will fall apart, right? I have to keep pushing myself. And I just kept testing it. Like, what if I don't? I really need to do that. And over time, I started to see that when I'm enjoying myself and my life, and I'm focusing on what I want to create, things occur to me to do. And they occur from a place of inspiration and joy, not pressure, shoulds, have tos, fear, scarcity. And it's so much more fun to create that way. And it's not wrong to create from pressure. All that stuff that I did, it made sense to me at the time. And I learned a lot from it and through it, met amazing people. But I'm just not about that anymore. And so I kept shedding things. Almost 2 years ago now, I left social media. I still have a presence as far as like personal profiles, but I never go there, and I don't do anything for my business other than I think there are a couple of blog posts that automatically get shared to my Facebook page that I never visit. And that's it. Like, I don't do it. And I was scared to leave, but something inside me was like, I got to see what happens if I do. So I started engaging with experiments and play. And this is what I'm talking about as possible. Rather than following somebody else's formula, which came from their own inspiration and wisdom for that individual person who's the expert now teaching it to you, it's for them. It wasn't designed for you. When you follow what's inside of you, it's not a step-by-step plan. It's like, oh, try this. Oh, do that. Oh, there's something that pulls. There's something that like nudges you and goes, what if you try that? What if you reach out to this person? Like this, like there's a curiosity that will motivate you. And this is how it happens. And it's messy by comparison with a step-by-step blueprint. But I'll tell you, it's full of so much aliveness and joy, and you get to fill your life and business with it. And I would love for you to have an experience of that. So I'll ask again because it looks like only one person has shared. What would you love to get out of this time together today? I want you to get a sense of that and also get something specific. So I want you to have a feeling that that is possible for me. And maybe to get a little bit of a hint of what that might be for you. Because I don't have the answers. I don't teach strategy anymore. Sometimes when I work one-on-one with people, strategy comes up and I'll say like, hey, this works like this, and here's a resource. There are plenty of people who can teach you strategy. You don't need that. What you're looking for is inside of you. And that's the now thing to do. And that's always available. And that's what I'm going to point you to. And that's what I want to encourage you to listen to today. Let me see if there's anything else I said I was going to share. Okay, I better tell you why I'm calling myself a lazy marketer, because I don't do anything that feels like marketing anymore. But I do a lot of things like this right here. I'm doing this not with a strategy in mind. Honestly, this is my birthday month. And sometimes, not every year, but often, I want to celebrate in some way by hanging out with people and doing something that's fun for me. And this was a topic that I wanted to talk about. And so here I am. And I thought about like, ooh, strategy says I should make an offer at the end because I have people show up and, oh, they're going to be really excited if they're excited at all. And they're going to want to buy something from me and I should sell them something. And I was like, do I want to do that? And I was like, no. I probably will say a little something, but there's no special offer. I considered it. And I'm like, no, there's just me and what I'm up to. And, but that's not to say that at some point, and probably in the next couple of weeks, I got an idea for something I want to create that I want to invite people to. But I'm not going to do it prematurely just because somebody said that you're supposed to have an offer, compelling offer. You're supposed to agitate the pain points and make people really want it and then go, guess what I got for you? And then they all want to buy it, right? Like, I don't want you to buy from that. I want you to choose something because inside of you, something in you says, yeah, Steph's a piece of your journey. Come learn with her. Not because you feel some kind of emotional drama in your head. I'm not going to intentionally stir that up. You might have that going on and I can't control it, but I'm not going to do it on purpose. So these days, people find me through the things I love to do. I write blog posts. I share content. Sometimes I do it with what looks like a strategy, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but I just want to see what happens. I do lots of experiments. I love to do things and then share my journey. So I share a lot with my people on my email list. I have a podcast, which has been a little bit dormant of late because I'm not pushing myself to make it happen. I get to talk with cool people on that podcast and share it. I do free events like this one and often make them available on my YouTube channel. So people find me through that. And I belong to communities like the one where I met Donna, where I just meet people and I find clients. And I'm not trying. I meet people, I make friends, I make connections, and sometimes, rephrasing this, sometimes they become clients and members of this community. But none of it is with an agenda. And even when I have intentions, like Donna said, I'm holding them lightly. It's more like, what do I want to do? What would be fun? I wonder what's going to happen. So that's what it looks like for me to be a lazy marketer. And thank you so much that little stall gave me time for people to say stuff. Yes. So dropping the shoulds, fun. Yeah. So like Michaela does enjoy strategy. And that can be fun to learn about stuff, right? Like it can be fun to learn about things that you can try. There's nothing wrong with that. Like it's still fun for me sometimes, but not when I'm being strategic. It's when I'm doing it because it's authentic. Okay, so rub shoulders with people who are already doing this. Cool. Spontaneity, organic flow to create presence in the world. Less afraid of letting go of the shoulds. Yeah, fun, fun, fun. Yeah. So procrastination. Cool. Cool, cool. So anything coming up for you, Donna, that you want to share before we move into something else?
Um, yeah, as you were speaking and as I was reading some of the chats, there is sort of an organic something like that when you're talking about your lazy marketing and unmarketing. And what I was aware of in for me was when I tried something and it went in a way that it was really people wanted more, I didn't have a something, but they told me, hey, can you please do this? So if I facilitated, I taught people how to read their own Akashic records, and they go, well, we want more support. Can you do something? Like, can we have a monthly meetup? Like, and they're asking because I didn't know. I really honestly didn't know. No one showed me that. There was no plan. And then I've watched over time, like that one thing naturally leads to another when you're in it and playing with it and then allowing yourself to listen to what's there. So there's a bunch of things that unfolded that I never saw because I was showing up. And I'm agreeing, I'm reading what about play. So I think what I want to say to that is that if you're coming from a lighthearted, playful place, not making it a serious thing, and yes, it is business. Yes, there's an exchange. Yes, there's that, but there's something about coming from that lends itself to you getting informed, like universe informing you because something's right there. Oh wait, that because I stood here, right? If I walk into the forest and there's a tree and I see that it has a climbing branch, damn right I'm going to climb that tree and sit in it. But if I didn't walk into the forest and see the tree, that was not going to happen. So it's like showing up. Maybe that's the shorter way of saying it. Showing up,
Mm,
like kids playing. Yeah,
yeah.
like the wind in the boat. Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Hmm. Cool. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. That's really good. So I'm just getting a sense of it, and we'll see how it informs what happens. Ah, thanks, Mikhailo. There will be a replay of this too, so you can catch the rest. So we want to do a little exercise, and I had put in the email that it would be wonderful if you have a crayon or a mark or something with some color to it and a piece of paper. If you don't, that's okay. You can use a pen, but I'm going to ask you to do a little something with that. Or Donna's going to, by the way, because this is inspired by her. But what I want you to do first is think about someone who has a business, who does something that looks like a business, right? That you admire. Think of someone who you see what they're doing and you think, oh, that would be awesome. And I just want you to come up with 1 to 3 words to describe that person, what you admire about them. I'll give you for example, for me, who do I admire in business? Oh gosh. I love people who are kind of outrageous. There's someone I recently met, and wow, she's over the top, bold, shameless. And I really think that's cool. So, oh my goodness. I'm going to do my own exercise on me. And I'm like, ah, but it's so good. This is so good. Okay. So I'm going to wait for you for a moment. So just write down 1 to 3 words about this person that you admire in business. And what do you admire about them? What makes them so cool? Just so that you have those 3 words. I'll give you one more moment. Are you doing this too, Donna?
Yeah, may as well. We're here. Why not?
Yeah, we're here
I
to
wouldn't
play.
wait.
Oh, okay. So I see people. Does anyone need any more time? If you do, just give a wave. So I want to make sure you get a chance to have some fun with this stuff. Okay. So it looks like everybody's got that. So there's going to be a phrase that Donna's going to ask you to write. Let's see how we're going to do this. instead of saying that this person is these 3 words, you're going to write I am these 3 words. But Donna's going to lead you through it in a very special way. So go for it, Donna. Now it's you.
Okay. So I would like you to take your crayon or pen and put it in your non-dominant hand. Okay, so did you see the looks a little like, oh yeah, okay. So in your non-dominant hand, best you can, you're going to write your statement, I am, right? That's the big capital S, self, I am. And then those words that you admired in another.
Oh, this is really hard.
Some part of me is wishing I chose shorter words.
Yeah, really, me too. But what's really interesting about this, I'll say, while you guys, maybe you're not struggling, maybe you're loving this. I was kind of struggling, but I'm also loving this, is that those things that we admire in others, this is what is often called the golden shadow. These are the things in ourselves that we aspire to, that we think we are not, but that lives in you too. That's why I went, oh shit, I am bold, over the top, and shameless? Seriously? Like, there's something in me that's resonating with that very clearly, that wants to be unleashed in the world. And wow. Huh. And I'm not really comfortable identifying with that. Cool. Cool to notice. Who cares? Okay. Did you guys write your statements? Okay.
Okay. And so now, on the other side of your page, put the pen back in your dominant hand and write the same statement.
That was much faster. Because I was trying so hard.
Yeah. And now take a moment to notice what your experience was with the left hand. Just what the feeling was when you were writing. What was the experience? And I don't know, Stephanie, since we've never done this together, if you like for people to just share their experience, but I always think it's cool when people do that. If y'all are willing, just you can just unmic or raise a hand, however that works. But just share your experience of writing with a non-dominant hand. What was the feeling?
Yes, let me invite you. You can just go ahead. I think we're a small enough group that you can unmute yourself if you want, and go ahead and just share how it felt.
Awkward. Just the whole process of writing with the wrong hand just felt difficult.
Mm-hmm. And I see Mika. Did you have your hand up too?
Yeah, like for me, what I noticed was like how, and hey, Donna,
Hi, good to see you, Mika.
thanks. How I was like all in. Like I felt my full being was really present and focused in it. So that was more, I was more conscious in the process.
Yeah.
And then I see Sam. You have your hand up. Hi, Sam.
That was delightful for me, and I think I was laughing the whole time. And so for me it just like brought me into that place of play and silly, and maybe that idea of, oh, I don't have to take it all so seriously, I can just play. And so it was fun to be with those statements in that place of just like, I'm just showing up and doing this thing. It's not going to look gorgeous. It looks like I wrote this several decades ago. And so that felt fun. Also connecting with writing in a crayon in this handwriting with like that inside, deep inside younger self. So that was lovely. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd love to just flip and hear, what was the experience when you wrote the statement in your dominant hand?
Hmm.
Just continuing then, for me, that first time, it was like the entryway to being able to accept those things in this playful way. And then switching to the right hand, it was like, as the grown up now self, affirming it and writing those as, yes, I am these things. So it felt nice to me to do the duality of both of them and feel the very different energies that were in me with the different hands and the different everythings.
Oh, thanks, Sam.
Beautiful expression, Sam. I had something similar. I felt like very silly with my, I was like, oh, this is so goofy. I love it. And then the other hand, I was like, wow, cool. Like I can do this with intention now. I can read it a little more clearly. Like,
Stephanie,
Yeah.
Stephanie, I want to put you on the spot. Are you willing to hold yours up so we can see it?
Sure, but I didn't have a crayon. I totally forgot about my crayon, but
That's okay. That's okay.
I don't know. Oh wait, it's
Oh,
blurred.
wait.
I can't because I'm blurring my
because
background.
you got you. I got it because you're
Pop
background.
out, pop out.
Yeah.
But I would. It looks like
I
it looks
was,
like a kindergartner wrote the first part. That's all.
Yeah.
yeah,
Stephanie,
I was gonna say that, yeah, like the first part, I felt like I was like experiencing those things. And in the second part, it was like I was putting the period or the exclamation mark at the end of it, like owning it. Like, okay, yeah, that's it. And I do have to say that as soon as I wrote the words down, or like the first time when it was like write down 3 words, like I did immediately notice that those were things that I would identify in myself as well.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about it until after I wrote them. But once I wrote them down and I looked and I was like, oh, yeah, I see that in me too, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and if you want to take this a little bit further, if you like this idea, I would encourage you to think about specific times when you have experienced or exhibited those things you wrote down. Maybe just to see a little bit more that, oh yeah, I have expressed this too. Because pretty much all things we have expressed at some time or another. And if it's something you desire, it's really nice to be able to see that you're already doing it.
I would add to that too, Stephanie, in this conversation about the awakened business. Like if you go with that non-dominant hand about some way that you're wanting to expand or whatever that is, like to just like play with that and just see what comes out and let it open up something else, and then go to the other hand and see like, well, what is that really, as opposed to starting there. Right? Because sometimes there's more thinking when we're in our, I think you said it, Sam, in your grown-up self, in myself now, that there seems like there's more room when we're out of the way, in the way and out of the way at the same time.
I like
Did
that.
anybody else have any other experience that they want to share?
Yeah, feel free to go ahead and unmute.
Yeah, it's interesting. One of the things that I learned a long time ago around sharing, because I was kind of quiet. I know, hard to imagine, but I was kind of quiet. And I was at an event and I didn't really want to share. And the facilitator said something about when we're sharing, there's also, that's us showing up and participating because it sparks something else for someone else sometimes, right? So there's something else happening as we all share. And I don't know, just something that stayed with me, I guess.
Cool. All right.
So
Donna,
there's one more thing. So now, okay, here's my not so pretty kindergarten writing. This is one who is an artist. I was like, I'm not even sure. Okay. And then there's this. And now I want you to take your paper and you're just gonna go like this. Because guess what? No, it's just playing. And if you're feeling super playful, then here, how about this? Pick up your papers and just throw them and let them land. Because we get so caught up. And there you go.
I'm wondering if anyone had a reaction to that or a response to it.
Yeah, I'd be curious, like, oh.
Yeah, Mika did. She went, yep.
I was like, no, okay. And then I was like, makes paper airplanes.
Yeah. But it's
I
that
was-
piece too where we can get so serious. So sometimes you write some stuff down, notice it, then yeah. Who else had an experience of the tearing of the paper? Sam, your smile is infectious.
Oh, well, thank you. I definitely had a resistance reaction. I like keeping things, keeping things I wrote. Actually, just earlier this morning, I've like all of my journals of ever, I've sorted them out by years. And so I was just reading from my first journal earlier this morning. And so then, and this I wrote in a little journal. So I'm like, oh, what was on the other page? Can I rip it? Can I sacrifice it? And then, so I'm playing with your invitation internally right now and what I'm going to do about it. I might.
And that's a good point, Sam. You do not, you don't have to. You know, like we're playing, it's a game, you get to choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I could rip part of it.
Well, and maybe
bottom half.
well, and maybe you don't even have to, because maybe what was this? So sit here for a minute. What was the energy? So because I ripped it first and you saw it, what was the energy for you in that? If you didn't actually go rip your paper, mine wasn't written in a journal, right? You know, like whatever. So what was the experience of, like, there's something there too.
What was the experience of watching you rip it?
Yeah.
I was a little distracted because I'm like seeing you, but then also going through my process and thinking about my paper. So there is enjoying the delight of watching you rip it, and then there's the resistance of I don't know if I can delight in it the same way because I'm in a journal. So
But that is such a good point, because Stephanie, speak to this. Do we do this in business where we see something, we see what's that going to be for me? What's it going to look like? And then go, oh wait, but then what if it didn't matter? What if that was just the whole point? It didn't matter if you ripped it or you didn't. Like, it really didn't matter.
no.
Yeah. Thanks for just being willing. Like, but that's the part where we get to see, because where else might we be doing that?
Everywhere.
But all it takes is noticing it in one small place and seeing it. I mean, my experience is that when we notice we're aware, then we're at a choice point. If
You
we
know,
just
also
see.
that thing of like first going, no, I don't want to tear it up. Like I had this preciousness about it. And then then in that moment going, don't be so, don't take it so seriously. Like it's okay. You can do it again. Like you can write it all down again. Like it's not like you have got to make this thing. And so even from a business perspective, or when we're creating things to put out into the world, like just being willing to play and not make it so serious.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that it's not me that was frozen, but it might be. Oh, how fun.
To do is share in the world. That might be a great way to play for you. I know you, so I know that you are playful. But that part of maybe that is seeing that is saying, where am I doing the seriousness with putting things out there? Yeah. Yeah, so cool.
Well, thank you, Donna, for that. That was really
That was
super
fun.
fun.
Well,
And
you guys have to know that when Stephanie and I decided to do this, we didn't really have a plan. It was like, well, let's, we'll see. It kind of, I don't know, some will come. Here we are. It was fun.
and I may end up going just 5 minutes over because I really want to make sure that I want to do this next exercise with you guys, this next little experiment to see what brings up. And we'll just do it in a moment. So rather than doing this thing that we usually think of called marketing, however it is you think about marketing that feels icky, if it feels great, keep it, by the way. If you want to do it, keep it. Same with anything I say. Don't listen to me. Listen to me if it feels like something inside you is going, yeah, try that. Try that on for size. Check it out for yourself. But if it doesn't fit, don't do it. Don't rip up the paper. Like you don't have to. You get to choose. That's part of living as you, being you. But if you don't like what marketing looks like to you now, I want to tell you to stop. Just stop doing that. Stop thinking that. And instead, focus on what you want to create. So I'm going to give you a moment, probably just like 2 minutes. So it'll be short, but that's good because I don't really want you to think about it. Take 2 minutes and just think about, if you want, or write if you like that. What would you love to create just because? It could be anything. Could be a sandcastle. Could be a poem. It might be something in your business. It might be something outside of your business. And just write down something you'd love to create just because it would be great. 2 minutes. So I've got the timer on. And I will let you know. Okay, there you go. That's our 2 minutes. So it's funny, as I do my own exercises with you, I'm like, oh, there is a reason why I ask you to do this. Oh, I look at these things that I've written that I'm like, I would just really like to create that just because. And the thing I'd like you to sit with, and it will extend beyond, I'm going to put this to you as a question to live a little bit. I'm like, what if you did that inside of this thing that you call your business? What would that look like? Now, it might be actually creating that thing or doing that thing inside your business. Or it might be just taking the energy of that and doing something with it inside your business. But I guarantee that if it's something you want to create just because, it's alive. And that's the energy that I want you to sensitize yourself to. to begin to just notice what's alive in you that wants to be created through you, that's drawing you, and give it a little bit of space just to play in your mind. And then maybe play on a piece of paper or out in the world somewhere. And just sit with that question, like, what would it be like if I did this, whatever this is, inside of my business? I think there were some questions here, like, what if you take that thing that you love and you share it? You allow people to discover it, which is different than trying to promote it or push it onto someone. It's like just sharing it without attachment is like what Donna's doing with these videos, is that she's just creating something and letting it be there for someone to see or not. And maybe sharing it on social media for someone to come across in their feed or not. It's not like a push. There's no force about it. And what would that be like? And this is going to be something for you to know for you. But this is the heart of what it is to live your business from that place of aliveness, from that place of love and laughter and magic and play that you are. It's not something you have to learn how to do. You already do it. So if anyone would like to share, I want to open up and just take a few more minutes. As I said, we'll go 5 minutes over since we started a tiny bit late. If there's a question that you have or something you'd like to share about what you're seeing in this, you are welcome to that. You can just go ahead and unmute and do that, or you can wave your hand or raise your digital hand, whatever you're comfortable with. It's all good. Hi, Mika.
I'll just share this really quickly, is that like I could just feel an energy shift, like coming in and playing and taking the weight off of things and in the head about, God, got to take these next steps, got to move something forward, gotta, sort of like shoulds, I guess, but just feeling the free flow of playfulness and how that opens up the creative energy just within my own being. Like I can feel that buoyancy or that sort of joy bubbling up to like, oh, I look forward to go playing with this. So yeah, it's just a really cool energy shift from hanging out here for the hour. Thanks.
Nice.
That's
Thanks,
so
Mika.
cool, Mika. So nice to see you.
And I want to point out that in case you're a person who isn't going easy with this, like maybe there's resistance that comes up for you, that's okay. As Donna said, just notice it. There's a power in noticing that, allowing your experience, and knowing that that too passes. Because I guarantee there's going to be a time probably in the next not too distant future where you're going to lighten up, because you're just not going to be heavy about it. That's just the way it is, even if it's when you fall asleep. And you're going to see something different and you're going to have a different experience of it. And from that place, your business is going to look different. And like, think about your non-dominant hand. Like, what if you were to do that thing with your non-dominant hand, not the way that you're accustomed to, the way that you've practiced and perfected and made look pretty, but you did it with the messy one, the playful one, the childlike one, and you gave yourself permission to do that. You're allowed. And it's really fun. And sometimes it feels uncomfortable. That's okay too. You don't have to. And you get to put down your crayons anytime you want. You get to throw a temper tantrum and walk out. But I'm going to encourage you to stay with it for just a little bit longer, because there's something beautiful for you to discover there. And I'll give you a couple more minutes. Is there anyone else who wants to share something? And then I know you have something, Donna.
Well, I was just, as you were speaking, you know, because I work with children for so long, right? As a professional clown, you show up at a birthday party, and if you come in and there's a child who does not want to be the center of attention, you allow that and you choose someone else and you let them have their experience. And so I just, as you were speaking, it's like being really gentle with yourself if you're exploring something new. Because sometimes you might want to put your toe in, right? And you might just notice the resistance and just love that. Like love all the parts. And that I think like takes us far, just loving the experience itself, whatever it is, and being really compassionate with yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, David's saying, I find being playful difficult in business setting with the companies I work with. And you know, this is an interesting thing too. Like Donna and I are being deliberately quite playful, and maybe like you'll see me do things that are ridiculous because I can. And in an environment with a different group of people, it doesn't make me stupid. Listening to my inner guidance and my wisdom does not make me stupid. I'm aware. I'm aware of who I'm talking to and where they're at. And there's a way to bring a playfulness and a lightness in that isn't getting out my crayons and jumping up and down on the desk. It might just be like cracking a joke, you know, messing around with somebody, being a little self-depreciating. Sometimes I make jokes about myself because it just lightens things up, and all of a sudden, like we're humans together. That's it. And play looks different for different people. So that it's a question, right? Like David, it's a question to be in. And I love that you shared that.
Yeah, and it's almost like maybe it's not play there's such energy on the word play too, but maybe it's almost just a lightness in your own being. Like that's inside of you while people are being there serious or doing whatever there is, but something inside of you isn't doing it in a heavy, it's like heaviness and lightness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. So Donna, as we come to a close in this time together,
Yes.
where can I will put it in the replay, and there's the emails going out, but where can people go to find you if they want to learn more about you or hang out with you?
My website is makelifepretty.co. And that's pretty much got the umbrella of all the things. I have another website. It was the first one, you know, iterations, which is IamLivingLovingLaughing.com. But it's really long. So things got, you know, moved over time. But makelifepretty.co is where you can find me. And yeah, what an honor, Stephanie. Thank you. I mean, like, I was excited that it was Stephanie's birthday month. You know, I'm a professional clown, right? Like, I want to sing the happy birthday song. And I was just so thrilled. But what an honor just to see you all, be with you all. And I, as I look at your names and your faces, there's something in me that honestly and genuinely from the bottom of my heart just champions for whatever it is that you want to do and express, because that's what we're here to do. So yeah, whatever the things are, do the things.
Yeah. Thank you, Donna. And I am going to say that if something moves in you to come play and work with me or with Donna, because you'll feel it, reach out. I would be happy to chat with you. I'm sure Donna would too, in whatever way. And we'll talk about creating something. You know, I do one-on-one work with people, and I feel the stirrings of another group engagement, but I don't want to create this in a bubble. Like I create with people. That's how I like to do my business, is co-creation. So if there's something and you're curious, reach out and we'll talk. And if not, I am so grateful to you for being here, because we can't do this without you. It just wouldn't be nearly, we could, Donna and I could, it would be still fun, but not as much fun.
Way more fun with y'all.
Yeah. So celebrating you and the aliveness in you as I celebrate that in myself this month. And thank you, Donna. It's been gorgeous playing with you. So happy you're here.
Thank you. Thank you all.
All right, guys. Enjoy. Have a great rest of your day wherever you may be.
You too. And happy birthday, Stephanie. Another dance around the sun.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mika.
You got
Bye
it.
for now.
Bye.